アンシャーリーよ。それに、アンっていう名前は全然ロマンチックじゃないんだもの。
No. Anne is a good, plain, sensible name. You've no need to be ashamed of it.
Oh, I'm not ashamed of it, only I like Cordelia better. You know, I've always imagined I should have been named Cordelia. Well, if you're going to call me Anne, please spell it with an E.
What difference does it make how it is spelled?
Makes a lot of difference. Print out A-N-N and it looks absolutely dreadful, but Anne with an E is quite distinguished. So if you'll only call me Anne with an E, I'll try and reconcile myself to not being called Cordelia.
Very well, then, Anne, with an E.
Born on November 30th, 1874, in Clifton, PEI, Lucy Maud Montgomery used her own childhood and life to develop Anne's story. This is the reason why they shared many similarities. The book Anne of Green Gables drew on the author's own girlhood experiences and on the rural life and traditions of Prince Edward Island. Earlier a journalist and schoolteacher, she achieved international success with both adults and children after the publication of Anne. 6 sequels carrying Anne from girlhood to motherhood were less successful.
Anne Shirley is an orphan whose life suddenly changes after she is mistakenly adopted by 2 siblings, Matthew and Marilla Cuthbert, who originally wanted to adopt a boy. They live on an old farm named Green Gables in Avonlea, Prince Edward Island. The story follows Anne's life as she grows up, makes friends for the first time, and has all sorts of adventures.
What I love about Anne of Green Gables is that it brings a sense of nostalgia for me. I have a cottage in PEI, and I spend most summers there. Each summer in PEI, we would see a play about Anne of Green Gables. And since it's such a big part of PEI's history, it's everywhere. My cottage is also near Dalby by the Sea, which is the filming location for the White Sands Hotel in the 1980s movie.
One of my favorite things is the development of the characters as the story goes on. How they change and their lives change. Anne grows up and she gains access to education. Marilla, as a result of adopting Anne, opens up and becomes less bitter.
In my opinion, this story is important because it's a coming-of-age story. It teaches its young audience that it's okay to stand out and be yourself. And it inspires its audience to stay imaginative and adventurous. It shows that even if you've had a bad start in life, it won't always be that way.
In my opinion, classic literature is important and everybody should read them. It can give a sense of history and show how simple things that we see today were completely different at that time, like how orphans were treated, lack of access to education, and how girls were treated.
In Anne of Green Gables, there's a pattern with the mistakes Anne makes as a result of her upbringing. She lived in an orphanage and she worked for a family, and so she was never taught the proper way to act or how to live in a society. They are all innocent mistakes, and through these mistakes, Anne's character grows and develops. Her mistakes and unique way of seeing the world also changes the people around her many times throughout the series.
There are several adaptations of the story, over 30 adaptations on TV, cinema, and stages. The first known production is from 1919 and is lost to time. New adaptations are still being made today, like Anne with an E on Netflix. Anne of Green Gables is more than 100 years old and is still popular.
The farm that Green Gables is based on is actually the Campbell's farm. The farm that Green Gables is based on is actually the Campbell's farm in PEI, and today it is the Anne of Green Gables Museum. Lucy Maud Montgomery's uncle built it in 1872, and it is still owned by the Campbells to this day. The museum features the Lake of Shining Waters, carriage rides by Matthew, and a gift shop with all kinds of Anne products. All over the property there are beautiful gardens to enjoy. Fun fact, Lucy even got married at this farm in 1911, and people can still get married here to this day.
Anne Shirley. What in the heck are you doing?
Fishing for lake trout.
For lake trout.